Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday night training. It is the 3rd of July. Like, how did that happen? Like, it's literally summer. I can't actually believe it. Are there any events that I need to let anyone know about? We've just had our Super Saturday yesterday. We're looking at doing our next one on the 3rd of September. So for anyone in the UK or anyone that wants to come across, have a look. Keep an eye out for that information coming in Holland summer as well. I know it's not really that summery today, hence I'm in a jumper. When the sun comes out, it's really beautiful, but when it goes in, it's really cold. So Zach and Eden have asked me to do training tonight. So there's quite a few new faces on. So I am going to introduce myself so you know who I am. And if it's okay with you guys, I will share a very brief version of who I am, how I came to be in Isogenics, and what my journey has been over the last 5 years. And then what I thought I would teach you and train you tonight is on the follow-up. And the reason I want to do that is I've had quite a few of you reach out to me about what my follow-up system is, because over the last 5 years, I have about 1,300 leads that I have a list of to go back to who have asked about Isogenics and not yet got started. And I think sometimes we can get lost and overwhelmed in that, but the system I'm using is very, very simple. So, and what I want to be able to show you all is a very simple system that will enable you to generate as many leads as you want to. Because in the past, before I did this, I used to stop doing things to attract leads because I couldn't cope with them, because I was getting overwhelmed. Have you ever had that where you're like, oh my God, I've got all these follow-ups to do, I don't know where to start, or you forget someone and then they message you again, or you see they enroll with someone else, worse. And that, oh, that's like, I gave you all the information, but I didn't follow up. Is your own shit, quite frankly. But that's because we didn't have a clear follow-up system. So I've been, the love and support your dog gives you, he's just annoying me, Saskia. He's not actually, he's ignored me. It's like the kids. He's ignored me until I'm now talking. So now he wants attention. And usually anyone that's been on any of the training calls I do, my children will come down just to preempt you and let me know they're hungry, or they'll let me know something's wrong. It happens every time without fail. And now it's my dog joining into that. Who was sound asleep a minute ago. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Stevens. I've been with Isogenics since the launch of the UK in 2017. And as I was introduced yesterday, I'm the dinosaur of our European team. I think that was a compliment anyway, so I quite liked it. So it was myself along with Emma who partnered with Zach and Eden 5.5 years ago in December 2016. Emma and I knew each other previously. We were in a previous network marketing company, but prior to that, we had no experience. So when people say, oh, they had experience, yeah, we did when we came here, but no one gets trained in network marketing. So remember that. So anyone can do what we've done, what any of the guys that are seeing success have done, and all of you can do that too. So we came over, I'll share our story because I think it's quite interesting. Emma and I went to Las Vegas, completely non-connect. We weren't financially linked, but we're in the same company. And we connected because we were having similar challenges in our business. And those challenges were that our previous business model had been changed, where to get the same results that we got, you had to do more work to get less money. So we both felt that it was very difficult to share the success of what we'd done. And we both were in the top of the company when you couldn't do what we did. And we became we were top recruiters within the company, and we were really struggling with that duplication. So we went to something called GoPro, which some of you may or may not know of. Most of you will, unless you're brand new. And we went to Vegas, and we paid to go to Vegas, and we shared a room, 4 girls together, for a week. That was really intense, can I just say? But it was also great fun. And we went to learn the skills to come away and become a professional network marketer. But what we found was something completely different in that sense. And we started to see speakers on the stage, Emily Vavra, Susan Sly, Jay Bennett. And if you've ever been to any of these, either online or in person, you start to look up where they're from. You're just nosy, no interest at all, just nosiness. And then, like a weird sliding doors moment, we came back to the UK, and one of the girls, who is no longer in Isogenics, joined with us. So it happens to everybody. People come in, do massive things, and they leave. So, you know, these things happen, very open about that. Amy, my sponsor, left 8 weeks after we launched, and Emma's sponsor left too. So, but me and Emma stayed, but we did this together, all four of us at the time. And when we came back, Amy discovered that Zach and Eden were there for her friends on Facebook. And they went, talk about timing and universe, they went millionaire 2 days after we came back from a conference where we just heard about this company. And Amy was like, you wouldn't believe it. This couple on my Facebook have gone millionaires in that Isogenics. And we were like, oh my God. And we were like, it's not in the UK. We were nosing. And Amy reached out to Zach and said, I've just seen you've gone millionaire. Congratulations. I'd love to see if you jump on a Zoom with me because I'm interested in our competition. And I understand she'd learned by this stage it was coming to the UK. And unbeknown to us, Zach had had a separate conversation with Eden saying, I really feel like we're launching in Europe, we're launching in the UK, this is going to be massive for us, and I know we're going to have the biggest team in Europe. They didn't know anyone in Europe. I think Eden knew a couple of people in London that she'd worked with by someone else. They knew no one. And that same day he said to Eden, there's a girl on my Facebook called Amy, I'm going to message her and see if she'll talk to me about the culture of the UK so I can start to build. She's a 6-figure income earner in network marketing in another company. And an hour after he said that to Eden, Amy messaged him. Like, how crazy is that? How crazy is that? Now that one Zoom led to 39,000 people in their organization so far. How crazy is that? Totally divine timing, totally meant to be. Like, you couldn't ever, like, we only decided to go to Las Vegas about 5 weeks before. So it was just the most, and together myself and Emma have completely transformed our lives. In terms of my journey, without boring you, but I think it's really pertinent, is it's allowed me to walk away from a very toxic environment. I've left my marriage of 12 years and a relationship of 20 years 5 weeks after we launched. When Emma and I came over to Isogenics, we built our organization with no products. And in 5 months, we built a team of 4,000 people. Emma enrolled 98 people and I enrolled 89, if I remember correctly. And when we went live, a third of those people activated for both of us, but our people and our people. And we both hit executive within 4 days, within an hour of each other. Again, how crazy is all of that? But we've both changed our lives. Anyone that knows Emma Poli, she's moved to Spain. She's retired her husband. She now lives a permanent holiday. And if you know Emma, holidays is Emma's thing. Mine has been a personal journey about removing from an environment that was really, really crippling me mentally. I felt completely trapped. And it's just changed my entire life, my children's lives. And, you know, and as Saskia said, it was so divinely timed, and it's led to each and every one of you. And we're very, very grateful for that. And what we love most is what an incredible team culture we do have. Some of you I've not met. Some of you I have met. Some of you I've become very good friends with. But whenever we meet someone new, it's always like we've known each other for ages. And if any of you followed our trip to Ibiza, you know, so many of us as a team, there was 40 of us together with couples, maybe, had so much fun together. We had yoga on the beach with Saskia. Poor Saskia and Frank were going to have an early morning yoga and stretch, and we gate crashed it. She had us doing headstands. But we had so much fun, and we had chats around by the pool. We had a couple of drinks together. We went out for dinner. We enjoyed Nikki Beach. And that is what you're involved with within Isogenics. Some of you are brand new. Some of you have been around for a long time, and somewhere in between. So I hope you don't mind me sharing that little part of our story. I shared little bits, but I think with the team growth we're having at the moment, it's great to know where that started and the support we've had from Zach and Eden, and really that you're here because you're meant to be here. So who would be interested in knowing a very simple follow-up system. And it really is the most simplest follow-up system to be able to generate lots of leads, but more importantly, have a very clear system that you can follow up with without sounding like you're hassling someone, without sounding like you're being annoying or anything like that. So the first thing I'd like you to engage in, if you don't mind, is why do we follow up? Why do we do that? So post that in the chat. Why are you going to follow up with people when they've asked you, or you've asked them and they've agreed to look at information? What are the reasons that we follow up? Successes in the follow-up. Oh, that's going really quick. People need time. Yeah, they do. Keep connected. The fortune of the follow-up. People need multiple looks to create a system to help them to answer questions. Wow, you guys are really on it tonight. Helping others if they know if they are interested now. Connection, follow-up is so important. Do you know the statistics of the follow-up in terms of what someone, how many exposures someone needs between them initially agreeing to look and saying yes? So 80% of people that get started needs at least 5 exposures, up to 19 to get started. So I have people that it might be those figures. I'm probably just making these figures up, but it's around that. It's around that number. I've got it somewhere written down properly. But follow-up is really, really important. But one of the things that you've all missed is professional. We are running a business. If someone has said yes to information, someone has asked you for information, then your job is to follow up until they tell you it is not for them or they join. Because until they've done that, you are just doing your professional side to, is there anything I can answer? Can I ask any more questions for you? I'm just circling back with you to see if you're still interested in that. So when you're running a business, that is what a business does. Now, just imagine, and I've had this happen to me, if you ask, Tommy, you asked Saskia about our incredible collagen, and Saskia sends you all this great information, but then life gets busy and you don't message her back. And Saskia never follows up with you, ever. I know she would, but if she didn't, what would you think, Tommy? And anyone else can answer this. I'm not singling out Tommy. So what would you think? Would you go back to Saskia and say, Saskia, can you give me that information, or I'd like to get started? What is the chances? The chances are no, because that tells me, what does it tell you, Saskia? Because I'm saying no, not a chance. It tells me she's not interested. It tells me she's not good at what she does, or she might be too busy to support me with the product that I'm looking at spending $200 with, £200 with, £300 with. It tells me that I'm not interested in 100%. And because I didn't buy straight away, that's all I'm interested in. So when we think I don't want to hassle someone, flip it, because actually that is your role as a professional network marketer, to share that information, and you can follow up in a really classy way that is not spammy, that is not pushy. And now if someone says to you, no, not for me, you don't follow that up. It's the people that have ghosted you, which I hate, by the way, but they do it. Or it's people that ghosted you, really, or they get lost somewhere along the way. Because remember, why might they ghost you? Is it ever about you? No, it never is. Too busy. They get sidetracked. Like I said, Tommy, life happens. It's not their priority. And our job is to keep showing up in a professional way, so that when someone says, all right, I really want to lose that 14 pounds or 5 kilos, I really want to try that collagen now, they go back to that original source. Because certainly from me, if anyone doesn't follow up with me, they don't get my business. And they don't, because that tells me that they're either not serious, or then they're not someone that I would want to support me, especially in the health and wellness. It's very different to if you were selling something, I don't even know. In fact, recently I had a holiday that I was looking at, and the lady didn't follow up with me. And then when I messaged her, she said, I thought you weren't interested, so I deleted your messages. Can you give me the information again? I didn't book that holiday with her because it surprised me. And I thought, wow, I wouldn't do that. I keep every single message. Okay, cool. So you understand the reason for the follow-up. So I use the follow-up system that is under the Our Easy training system, under Experience Your Breakthrough and the follow-up. I use the process of how often to follow up. So I follow up after that initial yes or that initial asking for information after 48 hours. And I'm going to tell you how I do that in a moment, and I'll show you what I do. I then follow up after a week. I then follow up after 2 weeks, then a month, and then every 3 months until. And some people I am still following up with from 5.5 years ago. And in fact, one of them has joined today because she had a dream about me this week. Sorry, she joined this week because she dreamt about me. I mean, I did think that was quite funny that she had a dream about me. And then in the morning, she just messaged me. But because I showed up, now, unless they delete you or block you, then they're not bothered. They're not upset with what you're doing because they wouldn't. Now, this is very different if it's someone you're really friends with. You can obviously have an open conversation with a really good friend and say, Michelle, I know I asked, I don't want to hassle you. Is it something you're still interested in? Would you like me to leave you with it? Because you're friends at the end of the day. Do you see what I mean? So I follow up on that process. My follow-up messages, because I want to really show you how I track it, and I've only got 10 minutes because I talk a lot and I'm mindful of that. So my follow-up messages is, the first message I follow up with is, hey Tommy, I hope you are well. I'm just checking back in with you, see if you've got any questions about the collagen elixir, about the 30-day shred, about our business, whatever it might be, about Salatoir. That's my first message always. I've sent you some information, or I've sent you the prices. You've not come anything further. So now I want to say, have you got any questions about what I've sent you? My second message is a circle back message. This is one of Zach's favorites. So, hey, Donna, I hope you're well and you've had a good weekend is what I would say today. I am just circling back with you to see if you're still interested in the 30-day shred, the collagen elixir, the Salatoir, whatever it is, the business opportunity. My third message is, I just want to touch base with you to see if you're still interested or still considering, is one of my other words, considering getting started with, or getting involved with, if it's the business. And then I rotate those messages. My last message of this kind of cycle is, hey, I hope you're well. I hope you've enjoyed the lovely weather we're having. I always add in what's going on in the world. I hope you enjoyed the Jubilee. I hope you've enjoyed the bank holiday. Whatever is going on where you are, I would always bring that in. I hope you're having a good week. And then I say, curiously, how are you getting on with your health goals? Did you find a solution for collagen? Or are you still looking for an opportunity to earn an additional income? So that's my next follow-up message, but I rotate that. But what other ways could you follow up that isn't a direct message? Or is a direct message, but not necessarily related to business as well? You could do either or. So another exposure is to comment on their content, because you pop in their brain. So you can birthday messages. Yeah, obviously they only get one of those a year, but that's another way that you can touch base with your potentials. But you can also just do a check-in. Hey, Melanie, I hope you're well. Just thought I'd check in, see how you are. And if you see anything going on in their world, they've had a good holiday, they've been on holiday, they've been out shopping, they've been on a nice night out, dresses, yeah, 100%. You can message and say, I love that outfit you had on. Where did you get it from? Or I saw you were out with your friends at the weekend. I hope you had a good time. How nice is it for us to be able to go out doing normal things again? So you're relating it to where we all are in the world. Christmas is a great time to touch base. Easter, all sorts of different times. You can go in with that and you can message around those things. But what I want to show you more importantly is what I actually do when someone says yes to taking a look, and how I track that. So can you see my screen? Where's me Excel? So I want Excel there. So rubbish at stuff like this. Can you see my Excel? No, okay, let me stop sharing. Share screen. Why would my Excel not show up? It's in my background. It should be there. Oh, I bet it's because let me minimize you there. Can you see me here on Excel? No, I can't show you that then. Is this because my Excel is on my desktop? Oh, there you go, desktop. No, because my desktop's here. Why can't I see why can't I share my screen? Because I can with anything else. Anyone know why my Excel's not there? Turn the camera off. It shouldn't normally. Maybe you have too many pages open. Maybe. I've only got 3. Is it there? No. Okay, it is really simple, and I'll show you a screenshot of it. So what I have is 2 columns. I have a spreadsheet. I use Excel. The reason I use Excel is because it enables me to have as many leads as I need. If I used a notebook, that would blow my brain, and it would limit the number of people that I could have as leads, because I couldn't have pages and pages and pages to be scrolling through. I don't want to write on a whiteboard because, again, I don't want loads of names, and 10 isn't enough. I want to be able to have as many leads as I'm possible. So no matter where you are on your journey, you might only have 5 leads now. If you find a system that works, and this is just the way I do it, not the only way, then that will allow you to have a clear system that allows you to have as many leads, because you want to have so many leads overflowing that you're enrolling people every week into the products, into the business. Isn't that the goal of everybody with what we're doing? So if we can do that, I can't use Messenger, because if you go through Messenger, you're going to lose people. Now, some people do that, and it's a quick, easy way. But if you've missed someone that's messaged you, if you're in my inbox, I can send 50, 60 messages a day. Well, then I've got to scroll all the way down. That's taking time. So I use Excel. You can use whatever you like. When I have different spreadsheets for LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. And then on the spreadsheet, I have a different sheet. Would that be right? One for nutrition, one for collagen, one for business. So on the tab bit on the bottom. Then I have 2 columns. Name, date, that's it. Don't put any notes on it, because all my notes on what I'm doing is in my message, whatever device I'm using for them. So whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's on Facebook, all of my communication is in there for me to look back at, to know which message I need to send next or where I am in the process. So my only role with my Excel spreadsheet is to know when I need to speak to them next. And what I have is a date. So if Saskia says, yes, I'm open to your business opportunity, who wouldn't want Saskia in their team? I would. So Saskia, leave, Michael, sit out. I'm joking. I really am joking. Let's find a Saskia. So I would put Saskia's name down, and then literally today I'd put the 5th of July because it's 2 days away. Then when I follow Saskia up, if she hasn't answered me, I'll then put a week because she's not answered that last message. If Saskia comes back to me in there, I go back to it. It's on my phone. It's dead easy to do. It takes a little bit of discipline, but it's 100% worth it. Then what I can do is go back and now put her for the 7th because she's messaged me again. But if I forget that, the longest she's waiting is a week. People don't mind waiting a week. Does that make sense? So I do that. And the way I have now, I have 700 leads on LinkedIn that are yet to get started. I've just checked. I've got 400 on Facebook that are yet to get started. Scrolling through that lead list is again overwhelming. So I put a filter, which is literally add a filter on your Excel, and I go to today's date. I wanted to show you that. I go to the 3rd of July, and they're only the people I need to speak to. That is it. It's the most simple system, but the most effective system. So the long and short of it is to have a clear system of who is not said yes yet, and when you need to speak to them next, and then knowing a system of what you want to say when you message. And that can be any of those different approaches, or you might have your own. And I'm sure you all have your own, where you can circle back and you've got messages. But remembering that part of the follow-up is the most crucial part to you introducing new business partners, introducing new customers, and that 80% will need to have at least 5 exposures, at least 5, before they get started. So if you don't follow up, you've wasted your time on the front end. And my biggest thing is my biggest thing is it's professional. That's your job. That's what we're doing this for. And if you're not, then find a way that it works for you so that you can follow up. Because if you're not, then you're not treating this as a business and you're treating it as a hobby, which is fine. But you're all on this Sunday night call to learn. And therefore, you want to build a business. So that is not a hobby. There's a difference. A hobby is someone who just shares, does a little bit, see what happens. Great. They may not follow up in the same strategic way that we would do as business partners. Whether that business looks like you earning €1,000 or £1,000 a month, whether it's 20,000, the principles are the same, but your leads would be less because your output would be less, but you still follow the same principles. So how many people do you follow up each day? However many I need to, because I go to my date and I follow up those that are on that date. I don't follow anyone else up. So I've done LinkedIn today, but I haven't done Facebook. So I need to go and do Facebook. I go to the 3rd of July and whoever pops up. Sometimes that's a lot. Sometimes it's like 2. So it just means it's part of my process. I've done my follow-ups. So my templates, I use an app called Boards to have as essential resources. Most of you have had that app shared with you, or the leaders have got that. And in there is a folder called follow-ups. It is in English, but I believe that Essie and Tommy have started to translate it into Dutch. So that obviously would be useful to have. But that, again, they're just my messages. That doesn't mean it's right. The most important thing is to follow up. Doesn't matter what you say. Your follow-up could just be a, hey, I just wanted to check in. How was your weekend? And then when they respond, you could then ask a question about what they've asked about if you wanted to. It's got to feel comfortable for you. But if you're not following up, you're missing out a massive component of your business, and you're either going to lose customers or business partners to someone else, or they're just not going to get started. Because it's very rare someone's going to go, right, Donna, I'm ready. Here's my credit card. We do get that, but it's not often. It's not often. Yeah, Donna says, who spelled my name wrong? Oh, is that Mel? Okay, you weren't talking to me. Okay, cool. Are there any questions before I will hang the thingy up? Can you make a little video of how this works and post it in the Easy Europe group? I struggle so much with so many leads and get overwhelmed. So you work 7-7. I don't know what that means. No, I follow up every day. So my follow-up is every day. I go to the date, and whoever's there is to follow up. Literally, I have 2 columns, name, date. So if someone messaged me yesterday saying I'd like information, which I had on an email, they were from LinkedIn. So they go in my LinkedIn follow-up under nutrition and their name, which was Diane, I think it was, and I put her date for tomorrow. So then I forget about it. It removes from my brain unless she messages me again. So when if she messages me again, great. If she doesn't, tomorrow I will follow her up saying, do you have any questions? It's that simple. But sometimes what we do is we overcomplicate the follow-up, or we make it about ourselves in the fact I can't possibly follow up because they've ignored me the last few times. My theory is, if they really aren't interested, they'll say no or they'll block me because they'll want me to stop. If I'm hassling them, they want us to stop. If you want someone to stop, what do? You remove them or you tell them. Would that be fair? Cool. Right, I'll stop the screen.